What's the deal, YouTube? This is your boy Eco Gamer, and these are going to be my top 10 Metroid games of my list. Now, we're going to go from top to bottom, 10 being the least of my favorites, and 1 being my top, favoritist. So, we're going to start off this list with Metroid Other M, which released on the Wii. It was made by Team Ninja. The story was definitely whiny, and Samus says baby a lot, and she's supposed to be this awesome bounty hunter, but she's getting bossed around by these military people, and the game wasn't that great. I didn't like it that much. It's decent, but it's not one of the best Metroids. And moving on to number 9, we have the first Metroid, the first one that came out. I played it on Game Boy Advanced. It was good. This was the one of the original Metroids I played. The first one was okay, but it definitely was a pretty good start off for the series since it came out back in 1989, I think it was. Next up is a surprise for some people, Metroid Prime Hunters, which released on the Nintendo DS, which I thought the game wasn't bad, but I thought it was interesting where you had other hunters you're fighting against to get to the ultimate goal and treasure, and basically you're trying to get the treasure before they do. The ending was kind of weird where the other hunters ended up being absorbed by the final boss, but overall it was a fun game. Definitely worth playing. Alright, next up is AM2R, the Metroid 2 remake that was made by a fan of the game. Definitely really good. I enjoyed it. The Metroids were pretty easy to beat. The game definitely had some great music and all that. Definitely was like the second one I played back on the emulator. Definitely that was good. And at number 6, we of course got Metroid Samus Returns, not the 3DS version, the original one, which was really enjoyable. This was one of the first Metroids I played, which was pretty cool. You beat the final boss, and you got the baby Metroid, which eventually carries over into Super Metroid, of course, which was pretty dope. And moving on to number 5, we kick it off with Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, which I thought this one isn't the best of the Metroid Primes. It got kind of convoluted with the dark and light world where you had to travel between it. Definitely the final boss was kind of annoying. Like, you had to deal with that, like different power-ups and stuff and all that. But the game overall was really good. Don't get me wrong, the game was good. It's just not as good as the other Prime games. And kicking off our list at number 4, we have Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Metroid Prime 3 had a great villain, Dark Samus. She definitely kept you on the ropes. You're like, oh, who's going to turn against me next? One of your comrades, even though you don't really care about that much. They definitely innovated with the Wii's remote motion controls with this. So yeah, that was pretty good. Moving on, we got Super Metroid, of course. This game is pretty much one of my favorite 2D platformers of Metroid. You go in, the baby Metroid sacrifices itself to kill Ridley, on and so on and so on. Definitely a really good 2D game. Of course, this might be controversial, but I think Metroid Fusion is the best 2D Metroid game. I love the story of Metroid Fusion. The whole parasite is merged symbiotically with you, and now the Federation's coming after you. If they ever do make a Metroid 5, I'm telling you, the Federation's coming for Samus. And finally, at number 1, it is, of course, Metroid Prime 1. Metroid Prime 1 is definitely my favorite one. That game definitely takes the cake. It was so smooth when it came out. It proved it was great. It ran at 60 frames per second. It was basically the transition of Metroid from 2D to 3D, which they nailed it with this game. It's just my favorite Metroid of all time. I'm looking forward to 4. Hopefully they don't mess it up like they did with Other M. Thanks for watching, guys. This is your boy Eco Gamer. Out!